Hey friends. Well, today I was sitting in meditation this morning briefly, and I had something show up. It was a kind of just a sensation that grew out of, I think because I've been here in Providence. I've been sleeping a little more. I showed up here so exhausted I couldn't even see straight, so I've been sleeping longer at night. And meditation in the morning has been little short bursts because we've got, places to go, people to see. And so this morning, the effect was just a simple moment of coming to stillness. But even in a very short meditation, we can find that moment of stillness it's that experience of no time, when all of a sudden, boom, it's like we're in unity for even in what feels like a fraction of a second sometimes, but we're there, and it's infinite when we're there. And the effect that I experienced, and this is by no means a new experience, but it was just one that I was reminded of today. The effect is that compulsion stops. And all of a sudden, my perspective goes from one in which, because compulsion kind of breeds compulsion, right? When we're in the flow of a sequence of cause and effect, every effect is also a next cause for another effect. So we're in a string of kind of infinitely extended, cascading compulsions, and there's no stopping it. That series, left to its own accord, and if we remain kind of attached to it, will just continue. And I'm convinced that this is why people experience stress. And because my experience of stress is being caught in a string of compulsions and kind of wishing or sensing that there's a way out, but thinking that the way out somehow comes from within the string of compulsions. In other words, if I do something different in the series of compulsive actions, that will somehow bring about a different result. And and of course it never does, because it's not how it works. But stillness is this momentary, like, separation from that series. It's like stepping outside of it for a moment, and all of a sudden, all my action, whether it's internal action, thought action, or whether it's actually what I physically do, something I might do or say in the world, all of a sudden action has space around it, and it's free. It's clear that, like, oh, I just get to choose. and the experience this morning, this is kind of like what I was feeling this morning, is that there's a sense of enthusiasm. All of a sudden, enthusiasm re-enters the picture, and whereas the kind of like series of cascading causes and effects feels, it's like a series of diminishing returns where the further down the road you go, the less and less satisfying each action actually is, because it's almost like subconsciously or semi-consciously we're onto it. We know that like this isn't gonna go anywhere, but for whatever reason we're kind of still like not totally separating ourselves from the compulsiveness that's driving it, because on some level that compulsiveness is like, but maybe just one more step down the road I'll get what I want, and constantly that doesn't happen. And so stepping back from that, letting it kind of go, letting that action, whether that series continues or whether it stops, we are no longer investing energy in it. And that moment, so frequently, it's like all of a sudden enthusiasm can come back, and it's an enthusiasm that's from the inside out. It's not an enthusiasm that's like, yay, the thing worked out the way I wanted it to. It's withdrawing our investment, or not even withdrawing investment, I guess it's withdrawing our attachment, our need for that series to result in satisfaction. I mean, I think that's the crux of it. If we expect a series of cause and effects to deliver infinite joy, we will only ever be frustrated. We know on some level, that infinite bliss, infinite abundance is ours, because how could we not know that? It's our essence. Inside of us, within our essence lies infinite joy and infinite abundance. We can only ever repress that, or sort of have obstacles to seeing that. It can never go away. It can never be destroyed or lost. All we can do is obscure it. And so, since we know that is our birthright, that's our essence, it's like we keep expecting it. We keep expecting to get there. We keep expecting to achieve it. This is I put this. I forget if I said this in a post or if I wrote this a few weeks ago. Like, I was singing that if infinite abundance is our birthright, then the difference between abundance and entitlement is abundance is we're aware. I'm aware that it's coming out of me. I am aware that I already have access to infinite abundance. I already have access to infinite joy. I don't need to go out and fight for my right to infinite abundance or claim it in the world. There may be times when we kind of we have to take action, or we have to ensure equality of social access, but that's not the same thing as an internally based infinite abundance of spirit. But entitlement is when we kind of tilt into expecting that infinite source to somehow come from outside. It's like we go out into the world and try and grab our infinite abundance from the world, where now it's a skewed relationship to it. It's a skewed perception of where that access really comes from. And so that stillness, even like I said this morning, just a momentary stillness reminds me, oh, right, let go of the cascade of attempts to get there and be there, and then the actions I take become expressions of being there. They become expressions of having access to infinite abundance rather than attempts to acquire abundance. And I guess what just struck me this morning is how quickly and how that can, all of that, it's like all that can poof into my awareness in a single moment of stillness. But stillness is really the access point. There's no other way to get there. Not that meditation practice is necessarily the only way to get there, but but somehow we've got to get to that place that's within, and that's our own essence, that connects us to the non-compulsive, totally already free, always already free aspect of our being, where this power resides and where this infinite resource resides. And then it just reframes the world. Again, it was like just sitting for a moment, opened up. It changes the way this day looks. It changes the way this life looks. It just completely reframes everything. And I think this is something that's it's not a new insight in my practice, but it's something that's really enjoyable to experience in a kind of quick and momentary way when I'm not doing a lot of meditation practice, or I'm just kind of like it's like putting a drop into my day, but remembering that one drop contains the essence of the whole day and the whole life. So this is what's showing up today. It was a very welcome and very beautiful feeling. So that's what I got today, folks. Thank you for watching. Appreciate you. Love you. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow.